Welcome to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders on 1240 Radio WOMT.
And good morning, Lakeshore, and welcome to Fine Living right here on 1240 Radio WOMT. We are once again with Jim Reif. Good morning, Jim.
Morning, Terry.
How are you?
Pretty good. Crossing my fingers, we're going to get some rain today.
Yes, we definitely need the rain, so let's hope that the rain comes.
Yeah.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. The weather's been really nice for those activities.
It definitely has. Jim, let's kind of recap quickly what we talked about last week. I know we talked a lot about the budget process, and so just a little recap for listeners that may have missed last week's program.
We talked about, before getting together with Contractor to, have a kind of a budget in mind of what you'd like to spend. Also to work on, collecting ideas, and that may be by, tearing something out of a magazine that you see, the websites of House and Pinterest, and photos you may have taken, driving around or something like that. Grab a couple of photos with your iPhone or something like that.
Absolutely good and important things for consumers out there that are looking to build a new or do some remodeling project, to have some sort of an idea before just calling you up and saying, hey, I want to do something and not having any clue, correct?
Well, we can do it either way, just that it helps streamline the process.
Sure.
Is really the key thing.
Absolutely. And as we talk about process, what more goes into the process once they decide, they want to do a project with Jim Reif Builders?
Well, definitely putting down your wish list versus your wants or needs. We kind of, so there's certain things you definitely want to have in the home. But then there's also those few amenities you may want to add. Maybe it's granite tops would be an option, or maybe a attached patio deck, or some other things that we could include in the design and or pricing.
And I would imagine, too, that you could possibly plan for the future, that if maybe right now some of their wants does not fit in their budget per se, you can maybe plan for at some point they could do something like that, or add on, or whatever the case may be.
That is correct. In a new home or an addition, one of the key things that we kind of to look for is, if you'd like to do granite tops, we actually typically reinforce the floor. So make it stronger. So we may want to plan for that process. And there's other things that we can do with that.
Right on. And I know that the most important thing is that the designer that you're working with absolutely is listening to you and understanding your needs and wants, and thinking ahead maybe for things that they may not even think about.
That's correct. We want to emphasize, the designer you're working with, that they take good notes, listen to what you really need and what your features are you'd like to have, and then probably add some of their thoughts too. Ultimately, we want it to be your design, but you may not see an avenue, and they may, and we really try to work hard at our company to do that, being a design build builder.
Sure, and that's one of the most important things about planning a project, is understanding that the consumer, they have the final say in what the design looks like, and so it's really important to understand that who they're working with understands that and is able to accommodate to what they're looking for.
Correct. And hopefully when you get done with that first meeting with that designer, you've got a good feeling that they listened and collected everything you'd like to do and gave good feedback, and so that it starts off on the right direction.
Sure. And so the question is, what should one really expect on the plans themselves if they're working with Jim Reif Builders?
Typically, most designers will start out with a floor plan, where they'll get a layout of the rooms and identify the layout of cabinetry and such in those rooms. They may even include a front elevation on that first. Come back with the plans, that you get an idea what the house looks like, and then from there it's somewhat redlining and again adjusting according to the customer needs, budgets, styles, desires.
Sure.
Very helpful.
Jim, what I hear a lot about you saying here is that it's really you're trying to make sure that the consumer, the client, the customer, they're getting what they want and they're getting what they're paying for. That's
correct. I think we also want to make sure we give them some personality in their home. We could build cookie cutter style homes, but in the custom home business, people like to be able to have some things that customized or unique for them.
Sure.
And I think that's the key thing, is that you get those features.
Sure.
And it doesn't take a lot to make your house look different from the neighbors that's 4 or 5 houses down the block.
Mm-hmm. Jim, we're running out of time here, but really quickly I want to touch base upon the Parade of Homes coming up.
Correct. September 11th through the 14th. Want to give people a heads up on that. It's a newer dates this year. We used to be in middle of June. Now we're in early September here. We kind of moved it to help accommodate, the consumer, you folks, to get to see more. Felt that it was conflicting with other things. Cost is going to be $5 in advance, and $7 at the Parade Homes. And we have 11 homes to view as far as the Manitowoc County Home Builders does, and I'm privileged that we have 2 of those are ours.
Well, congratulations, Jim.
Thanks,
Jim,
Terry.
if listeners want to get a hold of Jim Reif Builders and sit down and talk about a future project or ideas, how can they get a hold of you guys?
Our office number is 684-6899, and then you get us there. You can also look us up on the web, jimreifbuilders.com. And actually, Terry, we got it hopefully September 1. It looks like our new website's going to roll out, so that'll be exciting.
Awesome. Jim, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Terry.
Thanks for listening to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders, the leader in new construction and remodeling here on the Lakeshore. Let their vision enrich your lifestyle. Tune in again next week for another episode of Fine Living on 1240 Radio, WOMT. To learn more, visit jimreifbuilders.com.